if her parents would have recognized her.
I mean, so she was a master of
Disguise.
No. Hold on. What did she say? She was a professional
Poisoner.
a professional. What else? Check bouncer.
Check bouncer and a master of disguise.
And a master. How was she not a spy?
Exactly.
She put her tools to the wrong use.
People have loved her,
dude.
And even the United States, you know, even our system, the CIA, Central Intelligence. Oh yeah.
So the neighbor who said she didn't recognize her, was that like a childhood neighbor or
no? Let me just stand corrected and just rewind here. They didn't say this was a neighbor. They said that she was, when the police were called to the scene, she was found delirious on the porch of a house in Blue Mountain near her childhood home. They didn't say per se it was a neighbor. And the only thing she confessed, but however, the person that the person that owned the house was a woman. The woman did say, but I know her, but I did not recognize her. I know that it's Marie. You see what I mean? Audrey Marie Hilley. And so, so basically here she goes again. Now this time we have to blame it on deliria. Okay, or delirium, deliria, delirious, any of those any words that start with DELI. They said, well, who are you? Because they saw her going into convulsions and they're like, what's happening here? And she says, I'm Sellers. That's it. Just I'm Sellers. So that was her new last name. Didn't say the first name. So then the lady that owns the house says, but no, that's Audrey. No, actually, I take that back. At first, she did not recognize her. But then when she thought about it, I guess maybe the last breath or so, but at first she said, no, I know this person, but I didn't recognize her. I didn't know that was her. And it could have been where she could have been, who knows if she was living in the wilderness in Blue Mountain, up in the mountains and the woods and, you know, like just fending for herself. Okay, now it's so funny because how does she get up on that mountain at that house or that cabin? I'm picturing it as being a cabin, you know, maybe just a log cabin or something. The way they said on the porch. I don't know why, Ky. Why is that? Why am I picturing this as a cabin in Blue Mountain?
Because you're thinking about backwoods in the mountains.
I am. So now that's pretty much where she took her last breath, was a free woman in her own right. She escaped for years. She eluded the authorities. She disguised herself in many ways, many names, many different looks, and moved to several places. Her own husband, her second husband, she loved till death. The first husband, literally, the first husband, I would say not. I don't know if it's because, you know, they were very young and maybe she didn't respect him the same way.
I don't think she loved the second husband. I think it just, because she was trying to get away from him. I don't think she loved him either.
Well, no, she only was trying to get away from him because she wanted to, according to this story, she wanted to protect him. She loved him. She literally loved him. She didn't want to hurt him by him seeing her be, say, arrested in his presence or trialed in his presence. So she had to do something to make it look as if she had died and, you know, suicide note, right? But then why would you have someone else give your information, you know, to lure you into this room and say, you know, hey, that part is so sketchy. I'm never going to understand it. We're going to have to do a part 2, maybe in about 6 months or so, about this story to understand deeper into why Terry, that's the one I want to look into. Terry Honan. Honan. She's got so many names. Because because don't forget, Robbie was one of the first Ailey's names. That's one of the first names that she wanted to fake or whatever. But so Terry, it's like, actually, no, sorry, Terry Martin. So why Terry Martin and why come up with this twin sister? And I would like to find out, when does she surface? How does she surface? What does she really say? What does she do? What kind of interaction does she have with your husband? You see what I mean? Like, I want to know. That's what I want to know. But to kind of wrap this up for now, but I would love to come back to this. And if our fans, once again, if you guys think, hey, we really want to know too, because this was so freaking confusing. There's no explanation of how twisted this whole story was. If you want me to kind of wrap this up and dig deeper, I'll look a little deeper, but they're not really saying a whole lot right now. So I'd have to really kind of do some good, some good research. So, and let's do some last thoughts, Kai. I would like to, in our closing thoughts, I want everyone to just kind of gather this and just think this, just kind of put it in the back of your mind. Okay. So in Anniston, Alabama, the speculation continues to this day. My thoughts are, if you go visit Anniston, I don't know if they have any point of interest. Maybe there's something blue on that mountain that Kai said you can take a look at and just kind of shake your head and say, I did this. It's on my bucket list. I don't think there's much else to do, but go to the linen factory and make some sheets and towels, washcloths and all and such. Hopefully 400 thread count, to make sure they're quality. But other than that, to this day in that same town, the speculation continues. Was there someone who had agreed? Did someone agree to help Marie escape from prison, only to back out at the last moment? Where was Marie for the 4 days since she was missing? Remember when she was missing?
Yeah.
When it's time, like, okay, well, is that what she was planning? See, or the person that was in the house, the lady that was in the house, was she going to harbor her, hide her? I assumed there was a cabin. But if it was a larger home, maybe she could hide her in the basement. Maybe she could hide her in the attic. I have no idea. But they don't say enough of that. So it allows you to kind of ponder your own conclusions. And so more importantly, though, let's think of this. What drove Marie, Audrey Marie Hilley, because that is who she really is, despite of who she wants to pretend to be, with all of her schizophrenia and her alias names and her multiple personalities and all of that. What drove Marie to do the things that she did? Who was Audrey Marie Hilley? Just ask yourself that. Robbie Holman. Ask yourself that. Who was Terry Martin, her twin sister? And why did she dye her hair? Why did she confuse the husband with the phone calls and with the illness? What was the purpose of the illness? Was that to fake her death? Because according to the authorities and according to the records in a coroner's report, Terry didn't fake a death. They have the death that was on the report was actually under Robbie, who he believed her husband believed he married, right? So why would she do that to him and confuse him with the twin sister? I don't see any point or any value in any real relationship to Terry, her twin sister, whatsoever. And simply, who was Sellers? No one will ever know, Kai. That's how we're going to end that story. No one will ever know.
Yeah, let's just end it like that because I just think she was I can't even say I was going to say she was a very troubled woman, but I was going to say no because she didn't have a bad childhood. But just because you didn't have a bad childhood doesn't mean you can't be a troubled person.
Right.
So I don't know. She took that with her, I guess. Mm-hmm. And even if you asked her, more than likely she would just lie about it. So you would just never know. So.
Well, that's what psychopaths and serial killers and narcissists do. They lie. They lie very well. Well, you know what, guys? That's all I have for us for this week. But I must say, you can chew on that until next week because there's a whole lot there.
That was really like a crazy, right? Topsy-turvy. Oh my gosh. I have a headache for trying to follow that story.
It was more like a movie of the week miniseries, a part 1, part 2, part 3. Kai, that reminds me. What if our viewers, our listeners, our fans, what if they would like to continue the story on their own? What if they would like to see the movie version or a book version and just kind of get a little bit more dramatic insight into the life of who Audrey Marie Hilley was? So you know what you can do, guys? So if you are Amazon fans, if you go to a real old-fashioned library like they used to, I'm just kidding. Gosh, those were the days.
I still go to a library. What's wrong with a library?
Library? No, because according to statistics, it's dropped about 43%. The popularity of the library and the attendance of the library and the way that people even respect or appreciate and even check out library books has dropped tremendously. to what? The internet. So they're second to the internet, basically.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
I love going to bookstores. I love going to the library, but I could just go on Amazon and buy a book. So yeah.
Well,
but
that's exactly why I said if you go on Amazon, that's exactly why I said that. But yeah, what were you saying?
This is the story of so many different names. Let's call her the camouflage Black Widow. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree because they do name her. She was known as the Black Widow, but I would say more like the camouflage mistress, or something like that. I guess you could say the Black Widow. Okay, you know where the Black Widow came from? Because let us remember, it wasn't just her husband who died. It wasn't just her daughter who was attempted murder. She also successfully murdered her mother and her stepmother. None of us are crazy about our stepmothers for the most part. Well, some of us have a great relationship. Don't let me say that. I've always had a great relationship with my lovers' mothers. If I can say that.
Did you just say your lover's mother?
My lovers' mothers, yes, absolutely.
Good
They
Lord.
love me to the bitter end, even when I've tossed their sons to the curb. But yeah,
Lord.
so if our fans would like to follow this story a little bit further, there's a movie that was actually called a telefilm, which means that it was made for television, and it's called Wife, Mother, Murderer. So if you guys would like to follow that, please do, and let us know how interesting it was. If you find the story on Amazon, oh geez, Ky, there's some other good streaming services out there. There's Hulu, there's Netflix, there's what's my other one? Tubi. There are so many different ways that you can look for movies now.
Oh my God, this is just it's so many.
There's so many. We can't even name them all. It would take up our entire show, and then we won't have enough time to actually share these juicy and very, very unique, stories with you guys. So I would like to think that our murders, our murder stories, our murders, that our stories, our cases are unique, that they are a little different, that we dig a little bit deeper, into, the case itself. So, yeah, that's all I've got. But I mean, it was definitely something to ponder.
So if y'all like our flagship show, our flagship episode, and the crazy topsy-turvy way that Char told this story, we kept rewinding. Let me go back a little bit. Let me go back a little bit. So if you really like that, be sure to follow us on iTunes, on Stitcher, on wherever you get your podcasts, and also be sure to leave a review. Hit that like button, and say whatever you want. Say, I like the show. Say, Char is crazy. Say, Ky is too loud. Whatever you want to say, but just give us a like. 5 stars on this show. If you want to be a producer, if you want to help us out with the show and be a producer, somebody that we appreciate so much, visit us at patreon.com/love and murder. And don't forget, if you become a subscriber of $5 and above, you get bonus episodes, you get a shout out, and you get much more than that. You'll see it on patreon.com/love and murder. We'll be back here talking about another story next time. So we're going to be on every Thursday. So we'll be back here right here on next Thursday talking about another story dealing with love and murder. It's going to be another crazy episode. So until next time, y'all, all love and no murder. Peace.
Peace out. Everyone have a wonderful week. Be safe.